much for coming back and joining me again on this beautiful Earth Day. It is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. We are so grateful to celebrate this planet that sustains us. Today I am here, going to be getting joined by my dear friend AD, Freedom Movement. We're going to be dropping in and asking some questions because this is all about my project, The Poem, Peace on Earth Movement, the Peaceful Mother Lover Challenge, where we all get together and make peace on Earth by making a peace sign physically on the Earth. Lover, and then we all share it and we blow up the social media world with love and positivity and creativity. Welcome, AD. Thank you so much for being here with me, my brother.
Fresh. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, 100%. How
I'm
you
new
doing
to
on
the
this beautiful
streaming. I'm
day?
getting the technological side of things down.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, cool, man. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, working through it all, making these moves.
That's right.
How's the stream feed on your end? Am I coming through clearly?
Like the video looks a little pixelated, but everything else is bomb. And I think that's gonna maybe be a trend for today
Okay.
as I'm running my music set off of this
Yeah.
webcam. So it might also be a little pixelated, but I'm hoping that the sound and the audio and the stream and the vibrations are to par.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's what we're all about. Those vibrations and pumping them up. And I know your music's filled with those good vibrations and those good energies. Can you give us a little bit about that and how you kind of feed all that into your music?
Sound is manifestation. Sound is vibration. Sound and light, photons, and you know, my message has been transformed through developing, utilizing sound, rhythm, beat, which I feel like is a catalyst, as is, I think, your goal for the poetry and the poem, and using art as a catalyst to one set intent, thoughts become things. And so, for me, it was social, spiritual self transformation, starting with self and bridging cultural, philosophical, political gaps, trying to bring differing viewpoints and similar viewpoints to something more cohesive and streamlined as a prism does to light. And so my music has been a continuous journey and transformation in developing that, defining and refining that process to better myself, connect with others, as well as at a service to life in the community. Music through hopefully joy, dance, getting the blood circulating, getting oxygen going. And, some of these conversations are tougher than others. Some are fun and lighthearted, some are heavy and, raise tensions and even discordance sometimes. And one of the first things I learned through poetry and spoken word was what a catalyst and what a blessing that was to transform those harder obstacles that I think we face through sharing self, sharing thoughts, and all the dinner conversations that we're not supposed to have, which is politics, religion, spirituality, all that kind of stuff. And so my music has been a movement of freedom, as you or I will define.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Wonderful. And so some of it reminds me like well, the moving through the energy. So almost like you're using your music almost like yoga to kind of move through these blockages and kind of consciously moving into them, and through consciously moving into them we can then maybe push into some of these more difficult places in order to alleviate and heal them. Can you maybe speak to that a little bit?
As well as acupuncture, chi, the meridian points, stuck energy, good energy, discordant energy. All things are energetic, but not all energies synchronize and harmonize and resonate with each other. And so, learning frequencies, learning symbiotic frequencies, resonant frequencies, whether that's in a simple chord, circle of fifths in music, or meridian points with acupuncture, yoga in the body, and getting not just energy, fluid, in these stressful times, cortisol, the adrenaline, getting things going through our body at a healthy rate, healthy process, much less in a way that benefits and builds our greatest, grandest vision of self, our intention, which for me is health, wealth, and prosperity. And so, yoga, walking, acupuncture, music, getting the blood circulating. I don't know if we want to get into 5G and all the frequencies that do or do not resonate with our own biological frequency, much less the frequency of the earth and Schumann's resonance. All things have a frequency vibration. I got my 528 tuning fork right here that I try to do on my pineal and my throat as I wake and as I go to bed, with that intention in mind, that resonance is a thing. Look up what resonance does. If you pluck a guitar string, harmonious, resonant other guitars will tune into that same frequency and start vibing off each other and increasing frequency. And I think that's what we're trying to do with positive intent, especially in these times right now. Increase specific frequency that we feel benefits health, wealth, and prosperity.
100%, 100%. That's what it's all about. Is again building up those positive frequencies, and as they continue to build, they will amplify each other, and we'll all become amplifiers of that positivity and that love. Yeah, I definitely feel your music and all your work definitely has that, and I feel it so much. And so, how does within this movement, this all of that dance and that creation, how does that lead into the expression of your poetry and lyrics and the flow of your form as lyricist?
There's multiple levels. I just want to say real quick, I've started streaming on my YouTube channel, and so if people are getting a funny, signal, especially from this Instagram interview end, it's because I'm running my phone through the mic, as anyone that's tuned into the YouTube can see. And so, it might not be the best quality with the interview part if you're watching it on YouTube, but the music section will hopefully straighten that all out. So bear with the interview. Or go on Instagram if you're on there and tune in directly to Dankfart's page so that you can be on the Instagram side of it and then come back over to the YouTube. Or not, just wanted to explain that aspect of it. You know,
Much appreciated.
yeah, of course. So, I am a studier of history and studier of intent, studier of the people and the elite. And so I think there's something to be said. I hate the word conspiracy theory because everything now that is different from another viewpoint, much less the so-called mainstream, has this label and this simple go-to that was started by the CA to label it conspiracy theory. And I believe that just takes away from the progress and conversation of differing viewpoints, honoring different viewpoints, and then trying to come to a common ground. I say that leading into, if we're talking about frequencies and music specifically, I believe that the Rockefellers, these elitists, intentionally changed the spectrum for 32 megahertz of a harmonious frequency that we were having, literally tuning guitars and pianos and everything else now into digital streaming, into discordant resonance. And so I'm fascinated and committed to understanding harmonious resonance and learning to incorporate that into our life, our rhythms and patterns of life, permaculture, learning and emulating those patterns of natural law, which are already abundant and successful, far greater than I think man tries to put himself as a little g, as a little god over the supreme creator and the intelligent design that goes into creating natural law. And that's what I think the permaculture concepts are learning from nature, from natural law, those things that we can implement into our own life to bring greater success, greater health, greater wealth, and greater prosperity. And musically, specifically, you can get into the different frequencies that I think are more harmonious with the body, 432 megahertz, 528 megahertz, things like that, that then you can see people, I think, in the know starting to bring to the mainstream, slowly integrating into music production, the way we tune our guitars and bringing it back to the people as opposed to a Rockefeller, um, dare I say, Illuminati, for lack of a better word, program which was designed to lower our frequencies, bring discordance to our frequencies, have people not just social distancing because of COVID, but social distancing spiritually and mentally and physically on all aspects of life, because power in the people is dangerous to those who want to control people and control power, much less monopolize resources, direction of energy and current, and all things are energy. And so I think there's a vested interest in, keeping people ignorant and uneducated about that which empowers themselves, much less what we view as the bottom of the pyramid when we talk about flipping pyramids, whether that's on a government structure, a societal structure, or just an individualized civil liberty and the foundations that I think America was claimed to be built on, those principles that do empower the people for self-determination and liberation.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I always think a lot about is within the medical systems, because I think all of our, basically our systems right now, I think are converted to prevent the natural energetic flow so that that all the energetic resources pool at a certain level. And it's like, what happens if water sits for a long time and it's not moving and it's not circulating? It becomes stagnant, rotten, just like what we see happening in our world. And it's because of the flows have been perverted and not allowed to be in prosperity for all people. Like if the Nile doesn't flood and they're just keeping all the water at the top, then we're not going to have a fertile valley that is able to feed the bounty of people.
Uh, Agreed. I think that entropy and stagnation is a natural law, and it's part of the brilliance and beauty of consciousness, because intelligence and intelligent design and intelligent intention is what counters stagnation and entropy. If you leave a garage to itself, the dust collects, it doesn't come into order. And I think these get into deep philosophical conversations. I mean, the Big Bang and Darwinism and things that are taken as matter of fact because science is the new religion, specifically Western science, some of those go against what natural law seems to show us, which isn't that you bang from chaos and then go to more refined systems of organization just without any intelligent design. Most systems don't do that. Hot and cold will go to the middle, not keep polarized. But polarization is a natural law. And so the factoring in conscious and intelligent design and our specific individual intelligent intention is crucial, I think, to entropy, into stagnation, because it is our intent and our discipline and our applied action. And applied action, I think, is one of the most important factors of setting intent when we're doing visualization and thoughts become things. Applied action is what actually gets you into the garage to clean and organize your garage so you're not living in chaos. Clean and organize your house so your house isn't chaos. Clean and organize your family's philosophies so that you are somewhat on the same page. Clean and organize then the city and your community or your tribe so that you have some basic foundation of the principles that you've prioritized to be those things which you will agree upon that are important, and then that's the pyramid down. So it goes from family to culture and city to state governments, if you're going to have that, to federal governments in the system we have, where right now, as you said, we see a complete reversal of what should be the natural law and the natural process. So you have this huge, out of control federal government where people are pointing at one person, i.e., the president or Donald Trump, and saying, he's responsible, look at how bad he is. And he has all this control, tearing down then to the individuals, to the people, when I believe personally that's a reflection of that discordance within ourselves. Our own bodies aren't in alignment with each other and our foundational principles. And then our family isn't in alignment. We aren't talking about the most important things at the dinner table and with our family. And then we go out to our communities and our tribes. And my personal experience is that there is still a lot of discordance and discrepancy in what we are defining as our beliefs, our values, our intentions, and our principles. And then you see that manifest ultimately to the system we have today, which is a reflection of our own, I think, divergence from what should be our top priorities and top principles in making healthy, functional, cooperative people.
Yeah, 100%. I'm so on board with everything you're saying. So how does all of this kind of relate back to this project, the poem, the Peace on Earth movement, and making peace on Earth and kind of like integrating this energetic reality and so kind of as a seed for something that can grow into the next phase through us getting in touch with our Earth and setting our intentions and instilling our frequencies?
Was that a question? How that correlates to it? Is that what you're saying?
How was like the metaphor of the peace sign on the earth relate back into your work and the work of this and integrating it into healthy systems of life?
Well, I think it's a complicated thing, whether you're going back to Freemasonic and Illuminati symbolism, from the peace sign and things that they've put out through the occult and their own symbols and symbols we have taken. It's the difference between denotative and connotative linguistics, that there are things that have been set into motion by groups and societies and cultures in our history, and there's also things that then we've taken and changed the meaning of that and turned into our own intent. And I think it's good to understand both sides of that so that you know things that already have a charged power in them, as well as things that we are intentionally trying to change the power of. Peace and double speak, 1984 and Orwellian talk that I think still comes down to we need to be having conversations of what we are defining really simplistically when it comes to words and terms and intentions, much less how that plays out and looks in society. A principle in the Hermetic principles is polarity, and that's hot and cold, good and bad, And so peace, what's the opposite of peace? Is it violence, non-peace? It implies something, and usually which we're going to term as a negative, as bad. But the Hermetic principles aren't negative and aren't bad, and so it gets really tricky as we're trying to balance and set our intent for something like peace with what the counter is, which we're never going to get rid of cold in relationship to hot, but we can certainly mitigate it, and we can certainly set our intent for what our greatest, grandest vision of ourself is, so that we can look at contrast and then refine and define what it is we're trying to build. So peace, could look in simple terms, not to speak for you, but as a society and a culture and a world with far less war, far less violence, far less animosity and hatred and negative type of judgment for those that we call our immediate family, much less our greater family, and peace, wealth, health, and prosperity, which are my goals in this life. And so things that work for that are what I start to generally define as peace, love, unity, and community. And so getting into poetry, I think it still comes back to inspiring people with poetry, inspiring people with creativity and positivity in a way that initiates, which is what you're doing right now, initiating this conversation so that we can start to define it and articulate it literally in space and time and have other people then judge it and become a part of the conversation. And my goal is to have people, nonviolent communication to me is a form of peace. And so what we see on social media, which to me is very concerning, is a huge rise of people that are, one, they speak absolutely, like what we know, what I define as peace, what I define as good is matter of factly, and I'm just waiting for you to get on board. And so I think there's something to be said for humility and humbling ourselves so that as we're having these conversations, we can bring nonviolent communication principles or the non-aggression principle into our being and our essence and our conversation and our communication so that we're damning people less. It's why I'm not on social media. It's part of the reason I had such a hard time linking up with Instagram, because it hurts my heart when I'm on social media and I see the pain in humans and I refer to Kenny, Conscious Kenny's Kitchen, and what he wrote a great piece on dialectical versus debating. And we are a nation that's been conditioned and trained, and our muscle memory is around debating. And so we're going to talk about peace, and then there's going to be, the type of people that do comment are the ones that like come in spitting fire and venom and ego and absolute, these guys are right or these guys are wrong, or you're not going to get peace that way, or you think poetry is going to solve COVID or our civil liberties, and it really starts to degrade quickly around debate as opposed to dialectical. And so I say that because the term peace is a loaded term, and yet we're articulate, intelligent beings. And so having conversations like this, we can define it specifically. Like nonviolent communication to me is a form of peace. Doing no harm unto others, minimizing that the best we can, is a form of peace and is a good thing based on what we're defining and saying we want for ourselves and in our life. So that could be everything from war. I'm not for war, but I understand why it's here. I also don't want to be naive and just think that thinking peace by itself is going to stop thousands of years of barbarism and oppression and aggression between people that aren't in agreement. I want to set my goal, and I also want to look at what's working and what's not working. And for me, a simple thing is the non-aggression principle, is nonviolent communication. So if I can spend a little more time saying, well, Dankbart, what exactly do you mean by peace? So I understand first and foremost what you're saying and what you're communicating, because a lot of times when we're talking, people are just waiting to react and respond. They're just waiting for their turn to speak, and you haven't even finished talking. So have they really even heard what you're saying before they're ready to respond with their idea of, oh, I'm just waiting for my brilliant point. If you only knew what I knew, then we'd all be good and we'd all be on the same page. Or I know that just like the light spectrum, what I see in the realm of light frequencies is next to none. And so I try to start with a place of humility that, man, am I ignorant. God, do I have so much room to grow. There is so much information that I don't know, that talking with other people and opening myself to the understanding that I could be fallible can now help me understand what Dankfart's saying by the word peace, by poetry, by his intention for this project. And then I could probably be a far better contributor to it. I think we're probably close to on the same page because this isn't our first conversation, but there's a lot of people listening, or if this gets archived on YouTube or something, that's why I want to put intention and focus and stress on, we have a lot of work to do just with our communication, just with our starting point of having some humility and fallibility to what some of us, as I see on FaceSpace and all the social media, just speaking as though we're so wise and know everything and are just waiting for the rest of the ignorant people to get on board. I don't know if that totally answered the peace question.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it was great. I really loved that. And I really love your passion and holding your intention and the accountability for all of this. And, really feel that you're really intentionally trying to hold it all up to the really high standard, which I really, really super appreciate. Um, yeah. And so, as we're going to be wrapping this up, how is it that like your music and your art can help? How does that for you put your mission in the world within what you've been talking about?
It keeps me focused on the greatest, grandest vision that I have for myself. I try to still my mind. It's easy to be influenced. Like there's biotics in our belly, like candida, that can influence your mind literally. That's not a conspiracy theory. That is an organism in your body that's like, I want sugar. And then it makes you crave sugar. And so, who's in control of our thoughts and when? And so, I try to still myself, take some deep breaths, purify my body, do some cleanses, separate from the idiot box and the greater machine so that I can be in tune with subtle energies, much less musical vibrations, and see what myself is in the greater collective. And so for me, that's where the freedom movement spawned out of, is my unique individual makeup of molecules, epigenetics, my family history, as well as my social conditioning that made this being, which is absolutely completely unique to all the other beings out there, and then honoring that while asking for love and wisdom and guidance from, for me, the creator, or those outside of me, or my higher self, whatever you want to call it. Just being open to guidance and wisdom and education so that the things that I am passionate about, my goals, which freedom movement started around native indigenous cultures and bridging the damage and the healing that I think needs to happen with American history, but world history, and just barbarism in general, domination in general. And so bringing awareness around Pine Ridge and Rosebud, or the Dene and the Four Corners and the Hopi and the lands that we stand on now, much less the indigenous identification that we have, which, as a darker brown melanated man who's been called African American by most people in the American society, getting back to these terms that are often generalized, there is not a unified understanding and agreement on even that. And so my learning about, there were dark brown people that we call now African Americans, indigenous to this continent here, that have been battling with the plains, the so-called straight hair indigenous people, much less what we call white people, which is an absurd term because all people have a history and have indigenous roots to somewhere. And so we need to get back to understanding that history in my passion and in my goal. And that was a big part of what started the freedom movement, specifically moving into modern America, corporate government combination, aka fascism, and which is far beyond just studying history, because we're in a place in time that's unique to the sum total of all that has been before us. And so I try to incorporate what my identity is, which is European, African, and indigenous Native American. That's why I feel I'm a very specific bridge gapper for that triad, which I think is very important in the Americas, but incorporating that with, one, not just damning cultures or damning the oppressor or those that we can see manifested in this Willie Lynch divide and conquer, black against white, indigenous against black against white, all the things that could separate us, but trying to bring it back to a rhythm and a beat and a harmonious intention that has us unified, not to homogenize culture and get rid of cultures, because I love culture and I love what is Italian, what is Netherlands, what is African, which is a whole combination of, Congo and all these other very specific cultural, historical tribes. To keep some of that is great, and I'm for that. I'm not for just whatever the American homogenized McDonald's fast food society that we're becoming now, MTV culture. And so preserving that which we honor while also knowing new times create new cultures and new combinations. And so freedom movement has been a vehicle to put that conversation on the table through music and rhythm in a way that doesn't threaten people but encourages people to have fun doing it. I think we need to bring fun into everything. And so doing that, making music, having conversations, breaking bread, and working for peace.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I find art so much because it can approach those difficult conversations, but it's doing it in a fun way so that people are a little bit off their guard, and then we can start to have these conversations and kind of start to move forward and open up that space and get that fluidity moving through.
That's right.
Cool. Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here with us. What? All right. Thank you all so much for being here with us. And how do we find you out there in the world for so people can experience your music whenever they feel like it?
You know, well, you can connect to me through my website, rhymes the number 4 the times, rhymesforthetimes.com. You could email me through there and connect with me directly. I'm not on FaceSpace that much, but you can look up Freedom Movement on Facebook. You can look me up on YouTube. I have an MCAD channel, which is where this is live streaming that you can go to. There's a Freedom Movement channel. There's a Wandering Monks YouTube channel as well. I'm trying to get more committed to the social media. And so if you all work with me and tone down the bifurcation and the debating, maybe it can be a little more peaceful place to encourage those of us that aren't trying to be dominators. But rhymesforthetimes.com is probably the easiest, that kind of unifies all of them. Shoot me an email through there, info@rhymesforthetimes.com.
Beautiful. Yeah, I feel much on that with social media. It's taken me a long time to get to this point where I'm here because I've never wanted to engage in it for the same reasons that you. But we got to get some people and help us get to their hearts too. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, MCAD of Freedom Movement. Your music has just always been spoke so much to me. I really appreciate you being here with me and supporting me. But all you beautiful people out there, sure he's going to be jumping up on YouTube Live right after this and dropping some of that really powerful, soulful, vibrational music that just makes you feel good. And so he's going to be jumping up on there, and you can find all the links up on my Facebook page, Dankfart Fire Poet, DANKPHART. Also the event page for this, Earth Day, the poem, Peace on Earth movement, and also MCAD up on YouTube, capital M, small D, capital A, capital D, MCAD, and you'll be able to hear some of that amazing, incredible music. Be sure to support him and all of his beautiful work that he is bringing out into this world. We need it so much, and we're so grateful to have you. Thank you so much for being here with us. This has been an interview series, part of the Poem Peace on Earth movement, where we can all build up and charge ourselves and help bring some positivity on this planet. Thank you so much, AE.
Peace and love.
See you on YouTube.
No doubt.
Yeah, brother.
Peace.
Yeah, blessings.
Word, YouTube world. Who knows if anyone's tuned in on YouTube, but let me wrap this thing up here and shut my phone down so I can give my full attention to y'all. Have a sip of water. Let me put the glitch screen back on. That there's my website, rhymesforthetimes.com. I think there's like an 8-second delay from what I'm doing over to here to the YouTube world. So peace and love. Give thanks to Dankfart for putting together an event and setting his intention and then organizing people, creating a platform for things that I think we all want and need in this world: the arts, progressive conversations, community, unity, and progress. So, peace to the world. My name is MCAD, in the place to be. So we're going to get this started. I got a little set for you. I know Dang Fart has a whole bunch of stuff still going on, so I'm going to stick to my time, which is about 30 minutes here, and play y'all some music so you can enjoy your day and go about your day with a little bit of rhythm and vibration. If you got headphones, maybe put the headphones in. If you're on a computer, bump up those speakers and get your house bumping. Open the windows, breathe some fresh air, and let the neighbors hear what you're doing and what we're doing. Unless that's disturbing and dominating their space, then close your windows and keep it contained to yourself. So I'm trying to get this program going, and this is my first live stream. So it was really glitchy before, but I'm hoping that all those kinks are worked out and that you guys receive a good signal. My webcam is what it is. If you've been watching, you've seen that it's pretty grainy at best, but we do what we can do. I'm going to work on getting my other camera set up, but apparently all the video capture cards are bought out while everybody's on lockdown with the COVID. Social media and streaming and all that is now becoming a much bigger enterprise, and so I stumbled on that while trying to do my first stream, but I feel like at least the audio is good. Hopefully the vibration and the intention is coming through clear, and it translates from where I'm at to wherever you are. I want to say peace to all my people, my community, and my family. Those that know me, I've been wrapped up in family court, which is an atrocious system full of bias, gender bias, and just lack of integrity, much less justice, much less family values. And so I think it's important, things like right now when COVID and government agendas are coming into play, to be checking in on those you love. And I know I haven't totally done that with people in my community that I owe that to, or that my intention is for that. And so to those people, I send you my love, and I let you know that you are in my thoughts and in my heart, and I haven't forgot about you, and I do care, and I do love for you. And my intention is to reach out here as my court comes on a little bit of lull, but it's our connectivity, because my court is the world, and so I'm in the place I am because we are disconnected from each other's struggles in some ways, and it is a really hard thing for us to understand how we can help each other or how we contribute to things that some of us are going through. And so I encourage people still to be educated about family courts, to be invested in politics, because legislation is politics, and I can't change my situation unless something changes. So that is either through legislation or through physical individual people, i.e. the specific judges I have, the attorneys that I've had when I've had an attorney, somebody caring, somebody being on the same page with the principles that I believe I hold, and then making rulings, decisions, and orders that empower, that exemplify justice, peace, harmony, family values, and otherwise. And so I haven't seen a lot of that in my case, and it's been one of the most eye-opening and detrimental experiences I've ever gone through. So get involved with all things in your life. The power should and still remain with the people, and right now it does not. And so let's bring the power back to the people, and I think some of that involves getting more invested with politics, for better or for worse, as a generalized term, so that our politics reflect our personal, social, philosophical, and spiritual beliefs. That being said, let's move into some music. You dig me? Rhymesforthetimes.com. I'm an artist trying to make a living in the concrete jungle in Babylon. And so if you have to give, a way to support is to go to Bandcamp, look up the Freedom Movement, look up the Wandering Monks, buy a digital album, contribute some money. You can go to, I don't know the link to my PayPal, but if you go to rhymesforthetimes.com, I believe there's a way to donate on there. But we vote with our dollars, and so what makes this easier for me to do in the times right now is actually supporting us, whether it's me or other artists that you value and support. The arts need your support, so a way to do that is contributing with them ducats as fiat currency goes through this transition. Right now it's still a tool, so as it is, I will take gold and silver as well. I will take things of bigger value, but right now dollars is easy. So peace and love, that's all I'm going to say on that, and I'm going to get into some music. I love you all. I see my family out there. I love you guys, and let's get it on. It's a love revolution. Potentially it's a love revolution. Hey. It's a long, long road. Some would say that a message could appear from the sky. Some might say how you live is how you're choosing to die. Others pray for the day that we would never have pain. Others say to have sunshine, you gotta have rain. If it's all the same, I think I choose to remain. Blessed to impress with the lyrical game. The motherfuckers, they could have the fame. The paparazzi, as they go to take aim. Aim for the stars, baby steps, say Mars. Interplanetary solar system and beyond. Are you still fond of the way that the people never say what they thinking when they living every day? It's hard to escape from the mainstream. They told me shoot my television and remain clean from the dirty propaganda that will cloud you up. Represent the revolution and be proud to cut all ties from the so-called civilized. I wish we had the time to wait for you to recognize life ain't even really just a blessing in disguise. Behind Decepticons there is more than meets the eyes. Lies and deceit in the same tricks. Some are junkies for the power trying to get a fix. In a mix means you're really just a part of the whole. There was something sort of humbling about control. Thing about control is that it takes us back to power. Something that is scared to death about the final hour. If you had one wish, you would wish for more. Some people never even question what they wishing for. You think your hot shit phased us. He said we never see nobody that amazed us until this revolutionary came and blazed us. Burn fire when the Babylon pays us. Yeah, and as we moving through the ages, I see the Buddhists and the prophets and the sages. I represent the ones who live outside of cages. Oh my God, this is so outrageous. Some that are asleep need to wake in stages. I heard that living is becoming contagious, spreading out into the world like the plague is. Yeah. Infected peace of mind. How many people would have thought that they'd define their life they live with all the stuff that they had brought up? Who? Well, put your hands in the air if your life worth comes from the clothes that you wear. We much more than any price tag. You think I really give a fuck if that's a Gucci bag? Girl, no, you looking fly like a butterfly. But you know what caught my eye? It's your beautiful smile. Don't let the purse make the lady, have the lady make the person understand where you come first. Yeah, and know the chain of command. And for the buster punks, leave them right where they stand. Yo, and keep your head up. You know that it's a blessing every day that you get up. Yes, yes, y'all, and keep your head up. You know that it's a blessing every day that you get up. Yes, yes, y'all, and keep your head up. You know that it's a blessing every day that you get up. Yes, yes, y'all, and keep your head up. You know that it's a blessing every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. Peace, Elias. I was wondering how the sound was. She says it sounds good. Streaming a success so far. Hey, peace to the world. I'll do right I can for you. I'm honest with you, I tell you the truth, and I'm never gonna stray when other women wanna play, and I'll say that I'm a good, good man. I do the best I can for you. I'm honest with you, I tell you the truth, and I'm never gonna stray when other women wanna play, and I'll say that I'm a good, good man. And I try to be by your side when you're high or you're low. I will never go away. Yeah, and I try just to make you smile and to hold you for a while, so you would know with me that everything's okay. Yeah, I wanna make you feel so warm inside. There's nothing from me that I would ever hide. It's true with you, this world is much more beautiful, and I'm never gonna be the same. Your love for me has made me change. It's strange how much I've grown. You've shown me what love can do, and I wanna give it back to you. My love, my world, my life is proof. And the truth is that there's true love here just to make us shine. Your love so divine, I hope you're feeling what I'm feeling with you. I'm on that good vibe, you by my side means I've already comforted you. And I'm a good, good man. I do the best I can for you. I'm honest with you, I tell you the truth, and I'm never gonna stray when other women wanna play, and I say that I'm a good, good man. I do the best I can for you. I'm honest with you, I tell you the truth, and I'm never gonna stray when other women wanna play, and I say that I'm a good, good man. And if you need some time apart, just go and search your heart to find if what you have with me is true and real. Find out what I feel for you, for you. And I will always be there for you. I put number for you. You know I adore you. You're one of a kind. How did I ever find your love? And I am also worthy of this good love. So you got to take time, let me know that I am special and kind, and I'm always on your mind. And I'm a good, good man. I do the best I can for you. I'm honest with you, I tell you the truth, and I'm never gonna stray when other women wanna play, and I'll say that I'm a good, good man. I do the best I can for you. I'm honest with you, I tell you the truth, and I'm never gonna stray when other women wanna play, and I'll say that I'm a good, good man. And I'm not perfect, but I'm worth it. If you see what's good in me could also be so good for you, then I'm a good, good man. And I'm a good, good man. And I'm a good, good man. I do the best I can for what I am. I'm a good, good man. I could always be better, but I'm thankful if I ever get her to say about me that I'm a good, good man. Hey, peace to all the beloveds. For real, for real. Ooh, yeah, yeah. And this man did come and take it all away. And the words him say, you can't trust no way. It'll only deceive you. looked around and all I found was so many needing more than what we getting out here, selling out our time for a little slice of the pie. The well is run dry. It dawned upon me how we nothing like you. You're so money hungry, and what's a good man to do? You know love there for me, but we never gonna be like you, 'cause we got too much soul. And see reflections of me co-creating right there by my side. Another part of me, and everywhere there's something got me so in loving the potential that I see for me and all the other humans who wanna live that good life right here, right now. And some them wanna stop it, but we still one rocket. And ain't a single thing the boogeyman could do right now to rain on my parade. 'Cause rebel music is hotter than fire. There's more to life than getting paid. Like Mr. Marley said, sentimentally our slaves. We were not born to earth to work away our days for somebody's psycho wars. Them power hungry. The people here uniting could stop with all the fighting. Divide and conquer is the rich man's way to keep the masses down. His hustle been hustling all of us with his wickedness. He said, all for me and none for you. That's why we turned on you, 'cause you're not funny with your worthless paper money. But the people know better now that you're shallow and obsolete. But you gon' be good, what you gon' love would make our life so sweet. 'Cause life is sweeter when living in love. Y'all feel that love? Booyah shaka, booyah shaka. Together we are stronger than alone. That's right, show you right. Together we are stronger than alone. That's right, show you right. Together we are stronger than alone. Forward we march. Together we are stronger than alone. Onward we march. Together we are stronger than alone. Forward we march. Together we are stronger than alone. Onward we march. And it's my. We all know how the story goes, and it's my. We all know how the story goes. It goes isolation can fog your mind, but isolation can connect with the divine too. In isolation, I can escape time. I often find that it's intentions that guide you. I just wanna be a better man if I can, yes. I just wanna be a better human. I just wanna be a better man if I can, yes. I just wanna be a better human. Together we are stronger than alone. Forward we march. Together we are stronger than alone. Onward we march. And all of us right here, we need each other. Yes, all of us right here. We know that we can help another. Yes, we can help each other. Show more love for my sisters and my brothers. And lighten up, yes, and fill your cup if you promise to fill mine too. And rise it up, come vibe with us, 'cause togetherness can take away the blues. And I'm inviting us to unite and just make the love revolution what we all choose. And I send you all my love. Together as 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 I send you all my love. Yes, together we can make it. It's Peace, Obi-Wan, I see you out there. I see all my beloveds out there. Peace to all y'all. Hey, for real, for real. Yeah, I knew a scandalous, dirty little witch. Stab you in the back and discard you in a ditch. A narcissist, yeah, pretty on the outside, ugly on the inside, cause she lacks love for self. And she'll take you for all of your wealth and your time, make you question yourself in your mind, and won't think twice on leaving you for dead. Cause loving you back from her is like a heater to the head. 2 shots, point blank range, 1 pierced through the heart, 1 straight through the brain. A master and disaster in the game, a smear campaign, working so hard to tarnish my name, no shame. I have another lawsuit if I go and speak a name, but you know who you are, it's a dirty rotten shame. Sad that you got no class, you could do so much better than selling your ass. And I'm fictional tale to veil truth, fire burn without a single shred of proof. Yo, I swear it don't get no worse than her. She's a 5'4" devilish girl, and if not for that one fact, I take it all back. Leave dirty birdie right where you at, cause she's a predator, and letting her in is setting a trap. Swear it don't get no worse than her. 1 time, 2 times, too many times burn. If not for that one fact, I take it all back. Leave dirty birdie right where you at. Where you at? Where you at? Yo, dirty bird. Being slimy ain't cool, man, ain't you heard? There ain't even but a single bit of truth to your word, and there's no love in return because she's colder than ice, and she'll spit fire and never take the higher road. There's no hope for a narcissist, that's what I'm told. Trying to be the bigger person, man, it gets so old. And just hope for something to put her in check and smash that ego, bring her down to reality where sanity is found. Instant karma, instant karma, instant karma, so I can see her crash and burn. Hey, it's all love. I send my prayers and my blessings to all those that oppose, you know what I'm saying? Hey, peace, Nick Zamora. Peace to Mickey. Peace to Sister Sun. Peace to my beloved Victoria. I see all y'all. It's so uncertain where we are going. She said it's alright as long as we're together, cause nothing here lasts forever. And the truth is it's all just so uncertain, just where we are going. She said it's alright as long as we're together, cause nothing here lasts forever. It's all just so uncertain. Yeah, I wanna be a good man, but I don't believe in the American dream. Said, what do you mean? I said, I don't believe that we can all have it all. She said, I don't need everything to have a good life. I know what you mean, but still it's good to feel nice, cause I struggled so long. They tried to tell me it was there all along, like it never was gone. She said, I know what you mean, it's pretty hard trying to live as a queen. You wouldn't believe the things I've seen. A man can treat a woman so mean. Just trying to be a good wife, to plant one seed and have a good life. I said, I know what you mean, it's kinda hard trying to live in this world as a king. Yeah, she said, I know you've had it rough. This cruel world could be so tough, and it's hard on a man trying to do right when it seems pointless to fight. We found strength when the world had beat us down, knowing that inside of us we found a love throughout creation that's working, although we know it's so uncertain, just where we are going. It's alright as long as we're together, cause nothing here lasts forever. And the truth is it's all just so uncertain. Yeah, I know you've worked real hard to get where you at, and I would never question that, cause I know what it takes to dream. And I've seen so many crumble right before my eyes, cause the lies are meant to bring us down. But when I've taken time to look around, yo, I've seen so many others struggle too. The same life worries that trouble you got me thinking it's the reason you're so strong. She said, baby, just hold on. You know it's only time before we shine. Between good and bad is a thin line, and that's where we put our preference at. A point of view where you reference that life is you're sure to find. It's so uncertain, just where we are going. She said it's alright as long as we're together, certain just where we are going. She said it's alright as long as we're together, 'cause nothing here lasts forever. And the truth is it's all just so uncertain. She said it's alright, you could lay your head down even for one night, 'cause I'll be good to you. I said I just might stay with you, that's alright, 'cause you feel so nice. Everything feels right when I'm with you, that I'm certain. Whoa, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, we may not know where we're going, but we'll know when we get there.
Mother Earth, who can save the world? Will it be the children, every boy and every girl? Mother Earth, who can save us now? Is it too late, too far to turn around? Mother Earth, who can set us free from destruction, mankind's his own enemy? Who will make the soldiers lay their weapons down? Mother Earth, is it too late to turn around?
They said it all started off as a sense of adventure and pioneering. I guess it's all been so censored and twisted and distorted and straight up lied about. Prophetic visions that the ancestors cried about, harvesting the oil in the water till we dried them out. They spoke of holes that people dug and tried climbing out, harvesting the minerals and selling what they're mining out. And still some people wonder why the youth are wilding out, because they got no guidance and the elders are no longer there. But they're smart and they recognize that people care, 'cause they've seen the grown-ups working every day, but they're miserable. And yet they're too afraid to say that they question what we value, and they question what our plan is. They question what we've told them woman, child, and man is. They see the way we put our faith in science and somebody else's word, and a whole lot of reliance on a system that doesn't even really support the little man. It's mostly self-serving and it taxes the land. And if you ever question, we learn that dogs bite, like we should know the difference between what's wrong and right. When it's clear to see the most successful people are often the most greediest and the most deceitful. And it's the future that we're trying to stay prepared for. It's just the future that we're trying to stay prepared for. We recognize our values, so we demonstrate it therefore. We make a pact to protect the earth. In fact, it's not even your property, it's Mother Gaia's, give it back, 'cause there's no amount of money that could pay for that. So stop drilling in the ocean and stop spraying in the skies. Aluminum, chemtrails, and your poisonous lies. You hooked them up to cell phones, blasted to the cranium. Watch us devastate the earth, depleted uranium. Right this very moment, Mother Earth's been disrespected. Remember how the planet was before the humans wrecked it.
Mother Earth, who can save the world? Will it be the children, every boy and every girl? Mother Earth, who can save us now? Is it too late, too far to turn around? Mother Earth, who can set us free from destruction, mankind's his own enemy? Who will make the soldiers lay their weapons down? Mother Earth, is it too late to turn around?
Yeah, it's my love, it's my life, it's my hope, it's my faith for the future of family. It's my love, it's my life, it's my hope, it's my faith for the future of family. Yeah. Hey, we got a couple more tracks for y'all. Peace and love. Some of that new. Hey. Hey. Yeah. Fall, we get back up. Fall down, we get back up. Fall, we get back up. Fall down, we get back up. And when we fall, we get back up. Fall down, we get back up. And when we fall, we get back up. When we fall down, we get back up. Homie, feel I'm old enough now to see it's a beautiful life. I feel I'm old enough now. Job good love feels so nice. And my papa taught me just to do my best, you know. And my mama taught me just to do my best, you know. And my papa taught me just to do my best, you know. And my mama taught me just to do my best, you know. And if you go show love to the world, then you probably get love right back. Probably get love right back. And if you go show love to the world, then you probably get love right back. Probably get love right back. And if you go show love to the world, then you probably get love right back. Probably get love right back. And if you go show love to the world, then you probably get love like that. As we slide through the wormhole, metaphysics, astrological. Feel it, put your feelings away. Take a deep breath in today, then hold. Envisioning kingdoms of gold. When I shine from the third eye, heard I and echo. Take a deep breath, no stress, and I let go. Feels so good right now. Feels so good right now. Feels so good, right? Feels so good, right? Feels so good right now. Feeling like I'm at ease. Cooler than a wintertime breeze. Never hurts to aim to please. Life is water and life is trees. And these are the breaks. So let us break it down. Let's simplify it. Dollars on everything. Priced out so that you can buy it. Yo, they commercialize the eyes of the general everyday public. They sold the people on a democracy while seeking out to destroy the republic. And they say freedom is not free. I'm sovereign, don't tread on me. Masters of our own destiny. Outblasting anyone testing me. Like booyah shaka for your quattro chakra. Don't you know, boy? We hit 'em with love. What you think we meant? Yeah, we hit 'em with love. And balance is a virtue. This love would never hurt you. My word is bond and that's on my life. You know, confusion's here to test you. Illusions not one to stress you. You know the truth feels right. And there's truth in my affection. Yes, there's truth in my affection. You see the truth in our affection. I know the truth is affection. Yeah, so rise it up, yo. Try, gon' rise it up, yo. Try, gon' rise it up, yo. Try, gon' rise it up, yo. Try, we gon' rise it up, yo. And if you go show love to the world, then you probably get love right back. Probably get love right back. And if you go show love to the world, then you probably get love right back. Probably get love right back. And if you go show love to the world, then you probably get love right back. Probably get love right back. And if you go show love to the world, then you probably get love like that. And I feel I'm old enough now to see it's a beautiful life. I feel I'm old enough now. Jah good love feels so nice. You know, yes. And my papa taught me just do my best, you know. And my mama taught me just do my best, you know. And my papa taught me just to do my best, you know. And my mama taught me just to do my best, you know. I try to do my best here. I try to do my best here. What else can you do, right? Hey. Oh, oh. They say it's not where you're going, but how you get there. They say in this life everything is fair. Sometimes it seems in this world there's no justice at all. And some pray to their gods, and some have no faith at all. We wait for somebody else to explain it all. Assume that every single day our ways. Excuse me if I interrupted your ways. I'm only trying to understand and make change. It seems that we have gotten just a little off track. Do you think we can organize and bring it on back to something a little more dignified? Something a little more dignified. Something a little more unconventional. If this is what we're calling sensible, disrespecting life like it's dispensable, only living for the individual seems selfish and blind to me. It's what I see that makes me wanna change my ways and start to be a little more connected to the world I live in. We need to stop taking so much and start giving back a little love, y'all. Yeah, start giving back a little love, y'all. Yeah, we need to start respecting this world we live in. We need to stop taking so much and start giving back a little love, y'all. Yeah, 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 start giving back a little love. Yeah, yeah. Right on, Zamora. It's just a little bit of love every single day. Hey, for real. Check it, yeah. Fuck the governments, I ain't down with them. I put the blacks, the whites, the browns in them. I'd rather be like Saddam Silla, slaying motherfuckers with the rhymes, I'm a killer. No need for pop music filler. It's hard rhymes with no hook and yet stiller. Underground 900-pound gorilla could help motivate a brother more than you to fill her. Real roots, revolutionary movement. Love is a catalyst for improvement. Gone are the days of the record store. Your CDs and LPs are no more. So fuck a human interaction. You could go online for your next transaction. Damn if the world ain't falling apart. From crooked people leaving their mark. Let's start labeling names to faces. Rich folks trying to claim stakes to places. Dividing and manipulating races. Building up their own private luxury oasis. Who's that there millionaire? Bill Gates, nah sucker, he's a billionaire. He could change the world without even a care. Making more in a day than you make in a year. Yo, something's really wrong with that. Good people getting fucked while the greedy get fat. Yo, scared to bring the power back like check 1, 2, where them cowards at? Some say black is beautiful, some say the facts are disputable. White clan, but who's the grand dragon? Homophobes turn out to be a fag and think it's really none of my business. I'm not gay, so I'm not hated by Christians. I'm wondering if anyone listens. Fuck any and all oppressive conditions. That goes out to the church, cause the truth sometimes hurts. Like children after being molested. That line might need time to be digested. Bohemian rovers who confessed it. Your shit stinks no matter how you dressed it. Eugenics certifiably tested. Known to be the best amongst all of the rest, kid. Yeah, what the fuck it done did? All revolutionaries end up dead. Yeah, but people not able to speak is like the BP oil leak. It's tragedy. Creator chose which things are sad to me. Take it up with God, don't be mad at me. Sahan, yeah, we tried stabbing me. Graduated from Montauk Academy. Sit your ass down in the chair. We'll program you a blank ass stare. Send you back out with the zombies. Yo, what the fuck you call them? Abercrombies. Yeah, so many meatheads like Archie Bunker's rejects. Yo, I think you sound judgmental. Great thought, bitch, let me write it with a pencil. And then erase it in a minute. Thought about it, now I got no fucking use with it. Cause I like to think for myself. Program robots sitting on the shelf. Dusted, I'm thinking more like faded. Your philosophy's so outdated. Old ghosts trying to flex their muscle. Some folks never learn to hustle. Some things just simply gotta die out. Oppressors never hear you cry out. Some suckers wanna please their master. Oh look, house nigga better run faster. Love, but at what cost? Killing in the name of your boss. People people making war in the name of peace. Unknown dead in the Middle East. World War III, sending out prayers for the casualties. Yo, one love for these new generation revolutionaries. Know what I'm saying? We send love to the whole entire world. Peace, love, and transition away from the chaos and the machine that so many of us are still dependent on. One step at a time. Know what I'm saying? We could do it. We could do it. Hey. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. All right. Hey. They talk about their rights, but they give away their freedoms. They talk about their life like they need someone to lead them. Chanting on the Babylon, rise of the people, falling of the machine. Chanting on the Babylon, rise of the people, falling of the machine. Their corporate agendas and all the paper money that they lend us is made to hold us down. We watch them rise and fall again. You know we'll never bow down to the crown. But yet some of us need this oil indeed. We're still dependent on it to get around. The devil's greed got us chasing his seed while we cannot even harvest the ground. We till the soil. Love the earth, praise for the sun, for all it's worth. We plant our seeds, we give them love. We thank what's below and what's above. Chanting on the Babylon, rise of the people, falling of the machines. Chanting on the Babylon, rise of the people, falling of the machine. Ooh. Yeah. It's love for you, even when you don't know. It's love for you, shining from your own soul. It's loving. Ooh. So stop running. Ooh. Know where you're going and where you're coming from as we move through this Babylon. This Babylon. Know where you're going and where you're coming from as we move through this Babylon. We keep moving on. And on and on and on. Yeah. A revolution indeed is all that we need to keep the world from falling apart. We raise our fist and expand consciousness as we learn to open our hearts. Yeah, most governments rape the people. We are born to earth unequal. Some work hard but get stuck. Some are born with all the luck. Some are destined to be inevitably invested in evil. And some are deceitful, manipulating other people. Who talk about their rights, but they give away their freedoms. They talk about their life like they need someone to lead them. Babylon's falling, we watch it fall down. Babylon's falling, we watch it fall down. Chanting on the Babylon, rise of the people, falling of the machine. Chanting on the Babylon, rise of the people, falling of the machine. It's love for you, even when you don't know. It's love for you, shining from your own soul. It's loving, ooh. money, but you still running. Chant down this Babylon, rising of the people. We chant down this Babylon. Dub style. Hey, peace to Dang Fart for putting this together. I got a couple more and I'm out.
It ain't necessarily so.
Yaga yo.
It ain't necessarily so. The things that you're liable to read in the Bible, it ain't necessarily so.
I've read so many lies, it's hard to tell the truth. I want more than your word, I want some real proof. It's not just the Bible, yo, I question the Quran. I question everything that's been interpreted by man. Fuck what you heard, I wanna see it in the flesh. And I wanna see the 7 seals of David Koresh. And I wanna see a prophet now walk across water, whose father ordered fire, brimstone, and slaughter. Didn't Abraham prep the killing of his child? Any way you spin it, yo, I think the shit is wild. It's not just words, it's the root of your beliefs. The preachings of ministers, rabbis, and priests.
It ain't necessarily so.
Yaga yo.
It ain't necessarily
Yo,
so.
yo, 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 yo.
The things that you're liable to read in the Bible, it ain't necessarily so.
I love the thought of God, that's why I call him my creator. And just because I question it don't mean that I'm a hater. The things we hold true don't always apply later. I trust the word of God, but not the translator. Cause we're really only human and we're prone to make mistakes. And some people will do whatever it takes to make you give away your power. People working hard to build Babylon's tower, and we're calling out the powers who manipulate the voice. The antithesis of what it means to have a choice. From demons to gods to prophets and sages, I question anything that man has written on the pages.
It ain't necessarily so.
Yaga yo.
It ain't necessarily
Yo,
so.
yo, 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 yo.
The things that you're liable to read in the Bible, it ain't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so.
Yo, but a world without faith in something, it's like atheism's the new religion. Hey, 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 oh, oh. Yeah, I've traveled 1,000 light years away, only to remember the day that we manifested life itself. My wealth came in the form of an open mind. I find peace and beauty. I thought you knew me, but you didn't even know yourself. It's hard to understand anyone else when you don't even understand how you got where you at now. Where you at now? Yo. I give thanks for the things that they gave us. Yo, the natives, this is for the natives. I give thanks for the things that you gave us. Yo, the natives. Hey, yo, this goes out to my natives. They tried to devastate us. Hey, yo, they tried to eradicate us from this whole entire game and left me without a name or where I came from. I remain from trails of tears, betrayals of fears. Picture me as a warrior. I lived a life in a story, yo. Continuation of ignoring ya. When other people been living for the money, but living on the res ain't a damn thing funny. I wonder how they forgot about my people. Do you think they could live without my beautiful race? Is my native face lost within me? Yeah, I think my people been done dirty. Yeah, native blood at about 30 years old. If you never been told, native people got so much soul. Yeah, I ain't talking about reparations. Yeah, I'm just trying to build new relations. Yeah, but it's so damn tough. Nothing ever seems to be good enough for you. But my people keep trying. 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 'Cause I got so much loving for the native soldiers. And I got so much loving for the native soldiers. And I got so much loving for the native soldiers. And I got so much loving for the native soldiers. Oh, yeah. For the love revolution. For the love solution. For the love solution. For the love revolution. For the love revolution. For the love solution. For the love solution. That's what the world needs now. It's love, sweet love. It's love, sweet love. Whoa. Hey, that's my time. Peace to PL on the DL. Freedom Movement OGs. OB1. Shit, DJ Charlie Bucket for that matter. Hey, Turquoise Sound. Marissa, all my people. Nick, Zoe. Thanks to all. Sister Sun, Elias Clay, Dank Fart, and all those who support and love from the beginning. My name is MCAD. It's been a blessing to be, period, right? Have breath, co-create with y'all. So give thanks, rhymesforthetimes.com. Support the music, support artists, vote with your dollars. Be mindful of what's going on, you feel me? There's a lot going on right now, and there is a power grab going on. I don't know the truth. I just know my perspective, and my perspective is to bring power back to the people, to not live based on fear, to overcome and face obstacles with courage and strength, to unify with family and our community, and to bring that power then to the city, then to the state if we're going to have a state, and then to the federal government. Let's take money back and use organic currencies and try to figure out a new way to survive. There's been plenty of different cultures and societies, and we can pick from the best of the best and bring that into a new jambalaya and make a soup and something that tastes delicious and live better, live more peaceful. Get back to the earth, stick your fingers in the dirt, and get those vitamins naturally. We all need to start up a garden, get those seeds, start the gardening, and then spread that with your community. I say we level a house on every block, turn that into that blocks community garden. We need to do something, but it starts with brainstorming, starts with being humble, knowing that we don't all have all the answers, but we all got some of them. And so if we can bring that to a round table and start talking peacefully with each other and not talking over each other, not chanting each other down, even the wicked are reflections of ourself at oftentimes. And so all this hatred I see going on in social media, I want to rejoin you, but I want to do it when it's peaceful. So let's start with self and do character development. I'm going to start with myself, and I love you guys. I take all your positive criticisms and I take all your negative criticisms. And so let's keep building on ourselves, be open to criticism and critique, and move forward. Forward march. It's a love revolution, peace, love, and positive solution. For real, I love all of y'all deeply. Peace and love. I'll Catch you on the flip side. Panther fish, Injun fish, all the way. Peace and love, y'all. To my family to the end.